Welcome to the channel, everybody. My name is Ryan, and this is Astrea, the Six-Sided Oracles. And it is a relatively new game out on Steam. If you're interested in this one as we go along, I do have a link to the Steam page down below if you want to throw it on your wish list or pick it up right away. But it is a sort of Slay the Spire-esque deck builder with a twist. And of course, the twist is that instead of cards, you're using dice, which have, 6 sides to them and stuff. And we'll get into the details here in just a moment. So let's go ahead and hit new game. I have played a little bit. I decided I wanted to test it out and get used to the mechanics before showing it off. And to be honest, I got a little addicted to it. Ended up putting in a few more hours than I had intended. So if we go to new game, you'll see I have unlocked a total of 3 of the 6 starting characters possible. Now, this is the first one. Everybody starts with Moonie. This is who we're going to show off today. Then once you've got Moonie up to level 2, you open up this hammerhead over here, this gentleman. Once you get him up to level 2, you open up this guy. And I haven't even tried this one yet. I started to progress so much, I was like, you know what? Okay, I got to stop. It's time to make a video and show it off to everybody here. But so Moonie is level 3 for me. When you start, obviously, you'll be at level 1. Both these panels will be locked. The anomaly level is just added difficulty. So once you beat a stage with Moonie, you'll be able to, throw on extra difficulty levels and stuff. We're going to keep it at the default experience for today. But also one other note with level 3, I've opened up a couple of new cards, or dice I should say, which you'll see in this run, which you won't necessarily have available at level 1, but it's okay. Most of her deck is pretty standard starter stuff. But anyway, let's go with play with Moonie. Let's do it. So yes, I'm gonna reset my current one. Like I said, we're starting off fresh today. Here we go. So this is chapter 1. There are 3 chapters, essentially very Slay the Spire-like, where you can choose what path. You got branching paths, but they all lead to the final boss here. And we've got to get through 3 chapters. So let's get started. Now, our first choice is between essentially a relic or an item. We can go for a blessing with a passive effect with low power, or we can go one with more power, but it also has a drawback. Now, just for convenience and ease of explanation and understanding, we'll go with this one because these are often a bit more complex and stuff. And the game itself has a slight learning curve to it. The dice takes some getting used to, but it's pretty fun and addicting, like I said. And it is a heck of a challenge, but let's see here. So we've got 3 to choose from. We get 1 of these. Every 4 times you deal purification to enemies, you receive 1 purification. So there's two options at a very basic level. You can do purification or corruption. So our goal is to purify everybody. All the enemies need purification. That's essentially how we deal damage. But we can also heal ourselves if we purify us, if we use the ability on ourselves. It'll become much clearer as we play. But corruption's kind of the opposite. So whenever I use a corruption dice on an enemy, it will heal the enemy. But if I use it on myself, it will deal damage to me. And of course, there are some mechanics where that might be a positive type thing, but we won't get into that just yet. This one right here, I can tell you, is pretty much the best one. So we'll look at the feather real quick. Ritualistic feather. Whenever an enemy gets over-corrupted, gain 4 doom. And then it tells you what doom does. Boosts the corruption factor. Again, we're not getting, that one's not so great. This one's much better. The Trickster Crossstaff. Whenever an enemy die is re-rolled, that enemy receives 3 purification, so essentially they'll take 3 damage every time I re-roll one of their dice, which is a pretty handy thing to do. And let's do it. So I'm going to choose this one. That's a decent one. There it appears right up here. This is where all our items, or blessings I should call them, will appear. Now we've got a choice. Well, we've got a single option, I should say, to choose 2 dice. So here are the dice, and they kind of appear as cards, but what we're looking at is a representation of all 6 sides of the dice. So one of these options will appear in the game for this particular dice right here, if this is what I choose. And so you can see we've got 3 different kinds to a safe one, where all the options are good, even if they're really not that great. They're still pretty weak down here, but they're still positives. Then you got a balance where you've got 3 good and 3 negative. Just think red is bad, blue is good, essentially. And a basic, like I said, a very basic level. Or you've got the risky card, which is all red here. So if I hover, it says deal 8 corruption to all targets. That's a pretty hefty little spell right there. I think for the end, you can also skip it and just take the star shards, which are like the currency. We can forge cards with them and stuff like that, which you'll see me do a lot of that, actually. Some of these cards I just look at and I'm like, I don't know. Maybe it's just my inexperience with the game too, but let's see. Deal 2 purification to yourself for each die in your hand in your turn without discarding any dice. That's pretty good. So if we end our turn, we still have stuff in our hand, it doesn't go away with this card in effect. Or we can go, I'm not going to do acceptance. This is for like a certain type of build where you want to do damage to yourself or convert spells and stuff, but we're not quite there yet. Let's go with just a safe spell, I think. It offers a nice variety of stuff here, so we can either get this one, which allows us to deal 1 damage and also draw a card. And this one here allows us to gain Moonlight, which is just a little buff, you know. We get extra healing from it. And same thing with this, more Moonlight. So it's a good safe option. We'll grab that card. And that dice, I'm sorry. The second one here, we get to choose 2 dice right off the bat before we start our first battle. And in addition, you do have a basic dice pool, which if you miss that right up here in the upper right, you can click on your dice pool. And this will show us the basic deck that Moonie starts with. 2 minor purifies, a minor shield, 2 minor shields, minor enhance. Enhance is real good. Here's that card, or that dice that we just picked up is right here. So Moonie only has a dice pool of 9 total currently. But let's go back and we get one more choice. I'm telling you, I'm going to go with the Enhance right away. Enhance is a good spell. Basically what it does, increase a die with any type of Purify action with a value of 1 to 6. So you go from 1 damage to 6. But the drawback is that it only works on cards that literally have a value of 1. I'm sorry, I'm going to say cards a lot. I still got to get used to narrating a dice game. But anyway, that's what we'll go with. Now we're on to our first battle. Here it is. Let's do it. We're fighting a jellyfish, and we'll get into all the stuff on the screen here as soon as our roll is done. Okay, so we've got everybody's assigned their dice now. You can see this is what the enemy is going to do on his turn, which comes up right after mine. Now, if we look at the enemy, this guy actually has a little buff on him. He does have thorns, so we got to remember that. Whenever I deal damage to him, he's going to hit me back. And this right down here is basically our life pool, essentially. It's the corruption bar. You can call it that. I think that's what the game refers to it as. But we've also got our dice are down here, but then we have our virtues here too. And we'll get into how these work shortly. But at the start of each turn, your first virtue is always active and ready to go. But these other ones have to be opened up as we go. You'll see that here shortly. So if we look at our dice, the first thing to know is that any dice that have a corruption or a red border, see how it's like Halo is red versus blue, you have to play any corruption dice. Before I could end a turn with all 3 of these blue dice still here, but not the red one. So it forces, it makes you play these strategically. Somehow you got to do something with them. You can't just end your turn. So what Moonie's basic virtue is to convert dice. So converting changes a dice with the type of corrupt action into a purify, which I can tell you is perfect for this dice right here. Now, I'm throwing a lot at you, and I'm going to keep explaining, but again, I'll probably do a few videos of this game. It's really got me addicted, so hopefully if you do enjoy it, just follow along, you'll get used to it. But right now I'm going to convert this dice, but before I do, I'm going to right click it, and this allows me to actually see all 6 sides of this dice. So you can see this is a minor shield dice right here, and it actually landed on the 1 negative spot. So there are 5 other potential sides this dice could have landed on, but the one I got in my hand is the -3 corruption. So it was kind of unlucky, but if you know Moonie's virtues well, you'll know that conversion is actually really handy. Boom, so it changed it from a red to a blue, and that's pretty perfect. Because now I can hit this guy with it for 3. So watch his health. He's at 18 right now. I'm going to hit him with a 3 purification. And That brought him to 15. Now, it also hurt me for 1, remember, because he's got thorns. So I did damage to him. He did 1 to me. Now, when he did damage me, you'll see that opened up my next virtue. Okay, this first one's on cooldown now. I can't convert over and over again. So once the virtue's used, it's on cooldown till the next turn, or if you have abilities that'll like rejuvenate it or whatever. But this one now allows me to re-roll 2 dice if I want, and that does include the enemies as long as it says that, and it says any dice. So that's pretty good. It's handy. If we look at the enemy's dice, he's going to deal 2 corruption to me and then 2 corruption to himself. So he's going to heal 2 as well as deal 2 damage to me. Let's re-roll that. See if we can't get him something a little bit worse. Oh, well, it re-rolled. So now it straight up just deals 3 damage to me, and he's not going to heal himself. So what that means is I'm going to lose this little bar of blue, this one, and this one. So that, and if I get all the way down to Moonie's face, I'll lose a heart. And if I lose all 3 hearts, game's over. But when you do lose a single heart, it recharges your full bar. So don't worry, you'll probably see that here in the next couple battles. But all right, let's get into it more. Let's see, Purify. So deal 1 to the target and then gain a Moonlight. So whenever we play a Hex dice, all targets receive Purification. I won't go into what Hex dice are right now. You can read it on the screen right there, but I don't have any. I can tell you that. At the moment, we don't have any Hex dice, nor I don't think any way to produce them. So essentially, this card is only useful for that first ability. So I just did 1 to it. It did 1 back to me. All right, I'm going to hit him again. He's down to 10. I'm at 3. Now this right here, this virtue just activated. You can see as you lose life, your virtues will activate. So if you just thought of something such as, well, can I re-heal and then lose health again to reactivate? Yes, you can. You can play your virtues multiple times in a turn as long as you keep going back and forth over your health bar. And I can tell you the second character, the Hammerhead Shark, is kind of based around that. Some of his cards are. But anyway, let's go with the Purification 4 to an enemy. So now we're down pretty low on our health. He's going to hit me for 3, and he will essentially take 1 of my hearts, which I don't want him to do. We got to keep these hearts through the whole run. So let's refill our health by purifying ourselves a little bit. Now, I will note, too, there are ways to refill your hearts as you go along. There are different spots you can choose that will allow you to do that. Okay. So, we are at the start of turn 2 now. All our virtues are activated because we've lost enough health for them to all activate. This is a good one. Straight up draw dice. I'm just going to do that right away. Okay, beautiful. Now I can see the enemies already got a pretty high hitter on me. Again, if I didn't do anything to my health right now, he would take a heart away. But I think we've got enough to kill him. He's only got 6. I can hit him for 4. Okay, I got to watch my health. Let's do an enhance. So if I use this dice right here, and it has to be used on a dice that only has a value of 1. So it only works for this one, or it would work for this one too, actually. You know what? I think I'm going to do that. So this dice has the dual ability whenever I use it to re-roll any dice, and I deal a certain amount of purification to myself. Right now it's just at a 1, but I'm going to enhance it and deal 6 now to myself. Does it say? Yeah, to myself. And I'm going to re-roll. I don't like Stellar Cleanse is pretty weak. Yeah, this is the dice that I most often remove from my deck when I get the option, like during runs. But let's go ahead and re-roll the Purify, because it's got 2, but there's an option to get a 3 here. Let's see. I'm just kind of showing this off. We could kill him right now, but just so you guys can see. All right, so it re-rolled, filled me up on health, and we got a 2. Let's go ahead and finish him. There we go. All right, so I'll start playing with rounds more efficiently here with these enemies, unless there's something specific I want to show off. But all right, so we get 2 choices. We get to choose 2 dice after each win. Embrace, that's a pretty heavy corruption dice right there. This would be a good one for Moonie to convert. So if we pick this, then I would be looking to convert it and deal a huge chunk of damage. In fact, you know what? Draw 2 dice. Here, this one adds plague hex dice. So that's the dice we were just mentioning. But I'm going to grab Embrace, actually. It seems scary because we might be in a situation where we'll have to deal this to ourselves. But that's not necessarily true. You can deal it to the enemy. It just heals. You know what I'm saying? And it overcharges their meter, which is a bad thing. But let's pick our second one. Apply Light Shield. That's just basically a damage negation. And add 1 wound dice. That's actually not a bad card. Those hex dice are annoying though. Oh, look at this. Purify. This one's not bad either from Moonie. With her amount of purification, or I'm sorry, with her amount of like conversions that we can do. I'm gonna grab that risky dice too. So that's another thing I should stress: the safe, balanced, and risky dice. Pay attention to that because there are other dice which will key off like how many risky dice you have in your deck total. You know, so that's something to consider as well. All right, so we've got 2 new dice, and now we have an option after the battle to gain 50 shards, bring us up to 200. Of course, right after this, we got another fight. But I'm just looking ahead. So this is a shop where I can spend shards right here, and so is this. They're just different kinds. I'd probably go for this one because this one allows me to remove dice from my thing for a cost. This is just like a random event. It could be a beneficial thing where you get like free dice, or you can remove dice, or you might get into an extra fight too. So that's something to consider what the unknown is. But let's see here. I could choose 2 balanced dice, 2 risky dice, or 2 safe dice. Let's just grab the stars because like I said, I'm going to go over here for sure. All right, let's do our battle. Here we go. Single opponent. He's got Doom or Outbreak. When below or equal half max corruption, 15, apply 2 doom to this enemy. And I assume that counts down as I reduce his life. Or no, maybe it's, yeah, max corruption, never mind. All right, so Moonie drew 1 risky dice here. Let's look at it. Oh, it's one of the big boys. That's okay, we can convert it. Or, is this stellar, minor? That's okay, we can convert this. The other virtues are not active yet, though, because we haven't lost any health. All right, let's go ahead and do that. It's not really that helpful, but I'll just get it out of the way. And we're going to sting him with a couple of 1s there. He doesn't have the Thorns debuff, so I don't need to worry about it. But like I said, I'm going to kind of go through this a little bit quicker, like I would just normally play. All right, we've got a reroll virtue available. Ooh, we got an enhance. 2 of them. That's interesting. Okay, he got a 1 to all targets, so that's pretty weak. Now, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to re-roll this right here. Yeah, because I'm actually hoping to get one of these 1s to turn up, because then I can enhance it. So let's re-roll this one. We might not get it. Now we got a 2 again. That's okay. So I can still enhance this guy. And if you're wondering, it only enhances it for the rest of this fight. But there are some dice called Forge dice, which will enhance or change your dice for the rest of the run, too. You can also do that at the shop. You can forge dice and change them and stuff. So just a quick aside, you could replace this, for instance, with something else if you pay for it. But, or same is true for like, you could replace the corruption on the minor purify and have nothing but good options if you have the shards for it. But anyway, so this is totally useless. You see I click on it, does nothing. Let's just go ahead and purify, and I'm going to reroll. Oh, darn it. See, if we had gotten one of these, I could have converted it. But unfortunately at this point I have nothing to do. So we're just going to end our turn. Dice goes into the discard pile. He did 1 damage to everybody. So, well, he damaged me and healed himself for 1. All right, here we go. Ooh, look at that. We got one of our risky dice. Boom. And we have, of course, each turn, we have 1 conversion. Boom. So that's 13 we just dealt to him. Big hit. Okay, so he also has something called the what is it called? Over corrupt meter, 2 of 6. You got to watch that, because when they hit, if he were to hit 6 of 6, he's going to do an extra attack, essentially. And you can see that that's pretty pretty hefty, at least this turn it would be. So I'm going to re-roll my starter dice, which came up with -3, and I'm going to re-roll his, because hopefully we'll get him to get one of these 3s and not the 5. Okay, he did. He got the 3, and in case you're wondering why it shows that plus up, it's because of the doom he's got going on down here. Increases dice corruption value by 2. But anyway, this did not work out the way I wanted. So what I'm going to do is deal it to myself. Okay, that opened up the Purification Virtue to deal 4 to him. He's going to hit me for 3, which would remove a heart if I let him. So I'm going to heal 1. And then I'm going to hit him for 1. Now what should happen is he's going to hit me for 3, which is going to leave me with 1 health bar left. But it will open up this draw virtue for next turn. Yep. Boom. So that's good. Now all my virtues are active. I've got very little health, but we've still got 3 hearts, so I'm not worried. Ah, look at this. Boom, let's finish it. Here we go. You could do all this if you want, but there's no point. Just might as well finish it. We've got the firepower. Let's go. We have purified another soul. Okay, collect it all. Good, good. So, choose 2 dice. Scholar charge is good for each dice enhanced. Ooh, punch is real good, actually. So it's straight up deal damage to an enemy, and there's only 2 bad options. This is a really good card. Draw 2 balanced dice right there. So this card right here, this risky dice, will allow you to draw 2 balanced dice. I'm going to grab punch, though. That's a great pick. Meditate is nice. Draw a card. Deal purification to ourselves. So this is like a healing card with the draw. Ooh, what is this? Cursed prediction. Choose a die face. Add 2 paralyzed hex dice. So if you get this, you can choose the face of 2 of your dice, or whatever number it rolls on 3 potentially. They'd be like, yeah, I want this face, I want this face, but you have to put those hex dice in, which is, those aren't good. You don't want the hex dice. But let's see here. Unless you have a deck which is built around them, then you might. I think for this one, I'm actually going to skip it. I didn't really like any of those. Okay, so I am going for the Forge Shop. So this is our option. We're going for 2 more risky choices. And again, I could just take the things if I want. I will tell you just another little tip or aside. The shops only work in even or 50 increments. So you need like 260. The extra 10 I've chosen is useless. I need to get this up to 300. But anyway, let's see here. That's a good one. What I need is, yeah, convert all dice from your hand until the end of enemy's turn. This is a great card right here. Expertise. So the ability to convert cards is really, really key. Moonie's got that ability built into her virtue, but it's just once a turn unless you're going back and forth across your health bar. But this will now give us a second ability, or a second way of doing it. Granted, it's only 2 of the 6 options, but still. It's a risky dice. What are you going to do? Ooh, now this is an interesting one. Eureka. You can convert up to 2 or 1, just depending on which one of these you get, permanently for the rest of the run. So yeah, that's not a bad card. The thing to notice on this one here, though, it has this as a negative, lose a heart, and this cannot be forged. So as I was saying, you could forge away these other negatives if you got the heart star shards for it. But with this particular spot, you can't do it. And if you land on that, you lose a freaking heart. So that's a big drawback right there. That's a super risky card. You'll see this heart on a few of them like that. This is borderline epic, almost, I would say. If it didn't have this, I would say that would be an epic card. But anyway, let me see. I'm going to just skip that run. 2 risky. 1 risky card's enough. Okay, so we're at the Forge. So I can destroy cards. I could duplicate a non-epic dice. Sorry, I say cards too much. Or we can shuffle the options here again. So we've got 270. Let's look at what this is. Astral Rebound. The next 3 dice you play are returned to your draw pool instead of being discarded. Not bad. Deal 5 purification to all targets. Not bad. Or Astral Calling. Choose the dice from your draw pool and roll. If your dice is empty... Wait, if your draw pool is empty and discard, shuffled into your draw pool. That's really good, actually. Choose a dice. Straight up choose one. All right, let's forge one of our dice here. So now it's asking me to choose which dice and which particular spot on those dice that I want to forge. I think I'm going to come down here to my risky dice, and I'm going to make them a little bit less risky. How about that? Yeah, let's put it on our newly acquired expertise card. I'm going to change this spot right here to the astral calling. Boom, beautiful. And I still have 70 coins left, so I'm going to destroy something. And this one thing I've learned in games like this, destroying or removing cards / dice is just as critical as adding them. So he has a ton of the minor purify and the minor shields. We got 2 of these, 2 shields, and stellar cleanse. You know what? I'm going to get rid of a stellar cleanse. Yeah, it's just all basic stuff, really. Not that great. Alright, so that's it for the shards. Like I said, we're left with 20 until I get up to an increment of 50 or 100. So now we're at a spot where we were before the boss here, the final for this chapter. But we've got our choice between a normal battle, and for this we'll receive 50 shards and a chest. Or this one here, which yields 100 stars, a chest, and a star blessing. So I'm pretty sure the chest it's talking about is the 2 dice choices that we get after every fight. So I'm going to go with, yeah, let's do the harder battle. Come on, we can survive. Oh, look, he's only got 30 health. Oh, but he does have thorns, thick skin, so he just straight up takes less damage from us. And apply 3 doom to this enemy in 3 turns. Oh boy. Deal 3 corruption to a random target, so he's either going to heal himself or hurt me with that. Interesting. Alright, let's enhance this dice. Take it from a 1 to a 6. Let's convert this dice. Let's play this. Let's play that. Let's play that. And I'm going to re-roll his dice. I didn't look at it. I should have looked at it. Yeah, we definitely got the worst roll possible. Alright, let's go. Hopefully he hits me with that. Nice. Alright, open up all our virtues. Beautiful. And we'll be able to heal. Alright, let's see. Ooh, big time. To an enemy. Yep. Alright, let's get an extra dice out here. So this card, the light shield, this is basically for protection and healing. Boom. So I'm going to do that right away. And let's hit him here. Let's go ahead and convert this one. Use it. And let's finish it. Oh, big time kills. That was no hard battle, was it? Where's the rest of it? Alright, let's go. So we get 2 choices. Obscured analysis, apply light shield. Ooh, but add the hex dice. Ooh, cleave. Cleave's an amazing card. And you know, I've seen cleave in different forms. So it'll be cleave like plus and then plus plus. And it'll be either balanced or risky. What is this? Now, I'm going to grab cleave. Honestly, I should probably pass on some of these till we can get our coins up, but I will. Let's see. Amplified. Change 1 dice from your hand with any type of purify action with the value of 1. Area to purify 6. So it's kind of like an enhancement, but without actually enhancing it. Change all dice from your hand with any type of corruption action into purify 1 until the end of turn. So again, sort of like a conversion, but it's not. And then precision, just straight up choose a die phase. I like that, but I'm going to go ahead and skip. Okay. So here's the next blessing. Starveil. At the start of each battle, refresh your virtues. Oh, I can tell you this one's incredible. Sun Eye, whenever you or a sentinel deal corruption to an enemy, that enemy receives 5 purification. That's not bad. Sentinel is just something we'll get later down the road. It's like an extra guy that fights on our side. That's not bad, but I'm not going with that. Let's see. Ritualistic Feather. When an enemy gets over-corrupted, gain 4 doom. Nah, this one is amazing. So at the start of each turn, you know how our virtues have been grayed out because we didn't take any damage yet. Now, they're all going to be active. That's a game changer right there. That blessing, Starfield Veil, that's a great one. That's one of those you should be picking probably every time you see it, at least in my limited experience. Okay, so now We're at the final area for the last boss of this chapter here. So let's do, what am I looking at here? Ooh, duplicate. That might be not bad. The shrine here, this is where we can replace a heart if we've lost one. So let's go with destroy, and then I'm going to duplicate. I like that. So let's destroy another stellar cleanse. That'll get rid of them. Confirm. And now let's duplicate. I was thinking of the one that we just forged earlier. It's a good option. Let's see what else we got. Cleave's not bad. Punch. I'm going to duplicate punch. Just a straight heavy hitter, man. Okay, so we've got the shrine. We did pretty well. We didn't lose a heart, so I don't need that. I could sacrifice a heart to get another potential blessing, but I don't. Here's the deal. After the final boss of this chapter, all our hearts will be refilled before we go into chapter 2, so I'm actually tempted to do that. I think we can survive the boss fight with only 2 hearts. Let's get another potential bless. Oh, this is a good one. Let's look at them here in order, though. Singularity Sextant. At the first draw phase of each battle, when drawing your initial hand, risky die are drawn first. Interesting. You can shuffle your reward choices once. That's kind of nice. Or so every time we defeat an enemy and we get those 2 dice to choose from, we can reshuffle. Every 8 balanced dice you play, draw safe dice or risky dice. This counter is kept between battles. So I'm going to choose this one because this is one thing I learned in my old Magic the Gathering days. Any abilities that allow you to draw cards or dice in this case are super good. So let's go for that. Although I am tempted to do this one, but I like this. Okay. Final battle, boss battle, Sanctuary Parasite. Final challenge of the Tainted Rayfields, 150 stars, a Sentinel, so we actually get a little Sentinel with us if we win this. An Epic Die, a Black Hole Blessing, and recover all your hearts. Let's go. Uh-oh. Corrupted Flower, baby. Let's purify this sucker. So like I said, this blessing right here, the Starfield Veil, has activated all our virtues to start with, which is amazing. And, okay, good opening hand here. First of all, let's go ahead and draw right away. Get an extra option. Okay, so we've got, I like it. I like everything here. So this is, again, defense. Just throw a little shield on us here. I probably could have re-rolled that to try and get something better. Honestly, you know what? I'm not going to re-roll his die. 2 is a pretty good option. I'd rather have 1, but it's better than the rest. All right, so now I'm going to enhance our 1 to a 6. Throw another 4 at it with the Virtue. Dealing 2 and 6. Boom. All right, big turns. I've still got a conversion and a re-roll, but I didn't use them, so I'm just going to end the turn. Let's move on with our lives. Okay. Pretty weak, pretty weak. And not bad, not bad. So this is interesting. The Minor Shield, we got the 3 on it. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have some fun here. We're going to re-roll using this dice, which allows me to re-roll 2 cards. And I heal myself for 2. Now this one I'm actually going to convert, I think. We'll see. So let's play this. Depends on what we get. Okay, we got the 1. I was hoping to get one of these, but obviously we're not. So I can still, there's still another chance here. Let's try it again. And I could re-roll his too, but I'm okay with that. 2's fine. Dang it, dang it, dang it. Didn't get it. That's all right. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to actually hit myself with this. Boom. Now I'm going to convert. Alright, good go. Oh, I'm sorry. So he just, look at that, 4 of 4. So I over-corrupted him. And he did an extra attack to me, which is actually not good. Not good at all. Because no, now if we look, I clicked while he was doing his animation, but you can see the damage he did to me means I've got 3 health left, If he hits me with what he's showing, he's going to take away a heart. So I'm going to try to re-roll that. Come on, damn it. Not good, not good. So this purification only works on enemies. Basically, all I can do is just hit him a little bit more and end the turn. We're going to lose a heart, but I don't have much option. And essentially, it's because I ignored his over corruption meter. Okay, well, we're looking in pretty good shape. Like I said, if we lose this heart, then the game's over. Your run is done. You've lost, essentially. And your score will be tallied. Let's go ahead and draw again. Okay. I've got a big hitter right here. Let's convert that right away. This. Oh, convert all your dice from your hand until the end of the enemy's turn. I should have done that, but that's okay. Either way, it doesn't matter. Cool. Now I'm going to use this to enhance. Look at that. And deal 1 to target. 13. And 6. We've got him down to 13 here. He's going to hit me with 3, but we should be okay. I've got 1 left on his little over corruption meter. Because he does deal it to himself, too. In order to heal, they'll deal themselves corruption, so you got to watch that. Because he's trying to get it up there. Okay, so I think we've got him. Because remember, we've got an extra 4 damage here, too. Let's go ahead and hit him with that. Now I'm going to convert this big boy over here. Hit him. Look at this. We got... Oh, crap. Oh. Oh, no. I thought it was over. Oh, he just gained a doom. He's got me down to 1 HP bar. That's insane. Oh, wow. Okay, okay. Deal 7 damage to him. Plus 8, 9, 10, 11. No, we don't have enough. So what I'm going to have to do then, he's going to deal 4 to me. Wait, can we re-roll that? Dang. I mean, we can, but 4 might be the best option. He's getting a boost to his corruption right there. So I definitely want to hit him with this. Okay, now let's look here. Minor Purify, Minor Shield, Cleave. Cleave's almost as good as it can get. We could potentially get a 3 there. I'm trying to think if I should re-roll. Let's re-roll these 2. Oh, this might be it, guys. Come on. Oh. 3, 4, 5. Oh, we've done it. So that's going to hit him. Boom. Come on. 1 more. Oh, we did it with 1 HP left. We beat Chapter 1. And let's get our reward. Oh, and we get to choose our Sentinel now, too. So this is what they look like when they stand next to you in the game. But here's what's important. This is what they will roll each turn. So you only get 1 dice. I'm going to choose right now which one I want. But each turn you will see possibly 1 of these 6 options from whichever Sentinel we choose. I like this guy right here. He gives me the option to draw dice or just straight up do purification. That's cool. So we'll pick the dice drive right there. Boom. Confirmed. There he is. So he's going to be at our side now for all our future adventures. Well, for this run, obviously. It's like Slay the Spire. When you start a fresh one, it's all back to normal. So we get to choose our new epic dice. The first one we've seen here. So what is this? Convert. Convert up to 2 dice from your hand until the end of turn. And you can see it's got the option to convert all the way up to 3, potentially. Scholarly Charge. Deal 1 purification to any target. Deals 5 purification for each dice enhanced during this battle. That's really good, actually. That could be a game ender right there. Mind Wreck. Deals 7 purification to all targets. Add 1 Dizzy Hex. A Dizzy dice with different types of corrupt actions. Yeah, so those hex dice, we haven't seen any yet, but they're just kind of an annoyance that when you start adding them to your deck, you start to draw those instead of your actual dice, you know? So you can kind of imagine how that can get out of control, but I think I'm going to go with the Scholarly Charge right here. If we do enough enhancing during our run, or during our rounds with the fights, yeah, this is going to be a devastating card right there. So let's confirm it, or you could skip it for 50 shards. Not bad. Ah, and here's our black hole blessing. So far we've had 3 regular blessings. Now we get to choose a black hole, which means it's more powerful, but there's also a drawback associated with it. So this one, the Condemned Reliquary. Draw 1 additional die per turn At the start of each battle, add 3 wound hex dice into your draw. It's not bad. 3 wound for an additional dice each turn. Let's look at the next one. All right. Inerasable blackboard. Enhance 1 dice from any target. Oh, wait. Replace your reroll virtue with, enhance 1. Now, that's super interesting. I've never seen that. Replace a virtue with a different kind of a virtue? Huh. What's this? Here. Daydream's Mask. Draw 1 additional die per turn. At the start of each battle, gain 4 dazed. Your next 4 drawn dice with any type of purify or corrupt actions, have those actions changed into random ones. Wow. You know, to be honest, none of these are really sounding all that great. This is an interesting one right here, but I think I'm just going to actually take the 50, bring us up to 330, because we need a nice large pool of star shards here, because we got a whole second chapter and then a third chapter to get through. But I think that's going to do it for today's video. I think we'll probably split it up into 1 chapter per episode. Hopefully, if I can complete all 3, right? So tune in tomorrow to see chapter 2 here. We will start off exactly at this position with exactly the same dice pool, guys. And if you do enjoy the content, hit that like button for me. If you'd like to see me play other characters and stuff, leave me a comment down below. Let me know, guys. I've also got a link to my Discord server down in the description if you'd like to join that and discuss the game further, or one of the other mini games that I also play on the channel as well, guys. Anyway, I appreciate you stopping by, and I will see you on the next one.